Hi, I'm Professor Thomas White. I am founder and executive director of IBECC, the International Business Ethics Case Competition. This is a video primarily for judges, especially people who have not judged in the past. So I want to be fairly quick about this. Best way to prepare for IBECC is we have a bunch of resources on the website, so let's go there. Okay, the URL is ibec.net. We have a very rich website. That's both good news and bad news. There's a lot there, but you have to know how to navigate it. For judges, best place to go to get a handle on how things are going to go. I assume you already know how the competition is laid out, how things work. You'll find that under IBECC 2023 with the information on the basics. Here, specifically for judges, we have a judges resources area. This actually will take you to this video. This should be how you got here. Now, this page gives you some overview of things. All of these hyperlinks, these links you'll want to go to. The presentation guidelines page is where we direct students. These are also links that will take you to some sample presentations and what we consider to be essential videos. And now there's also, you'll see here the judging form. Click here. That will take you to a downloaded form. So you can peruse that. You will be on the, get rid of this, day of competition. You will be asked to submit your, sorry, wrong one. Submit your answers here. This will be the online version of the form. Now that first form that I showed you is for Thursday. Thursday are the full presentations. If you're going to be judging on Thursday, that's what we'll use. This is actually the first time we've done using external judges for the Friday presentation. Usually those are handled by our Uber judges, but we want to expand that this year. Now for that, if you're judging in the 10-minute or 90-second presentation sessions, you'll give your findings here, and really that's just going to be ranking, to give the rankings of the teams that you've seen. So first of all, you're going to want to go to this Seeking Judges, Judge Resources page, check out here a variety of resources, both videos and some things that we're asking you to read. The presentation guidelines page takes you to what we tell students how we expect. Presentation, some do's and don'ts that we advise them about, the 10-minute, 90-second, what's expected in the executive summary, and also some guidance about how they should handle financial issues, legal, ethical issues. Now, one of the things that we want to be particularly clear about is this point here. We tell students in talking about ethics, you definitely should not use technical philosophical terminology or cite Plato, Aristotle, Mill, Kant, or whomever. Talk about ethics in a way people in business do, relying primarily on a company's mission statement or code of values. The point of IBECC is to get students working with a skill set and a point of view which is appropriate to business. It's not an academic exercise. It's not how you talk to philosophers or other specialists. It's how do people in business talk about ethics, and primarily that's seen through company's mission statement or statement of values. Now, something else, as long as I'm talking about what we're definitely trying to encourage, is that, and this becomes a particular problem in online presentations, we definitely do not want students to read from a script. It's really too tempting to put a PowerPoint show up and then just read from a script, but we definitely are advising students not to do that. In fact, you'll see on the judging form, Actually, as long as I'm here, why don't we take a quick look at this? We have added, if you've been involved, I should mention this, if you've been involved in IBECC before, you'll see that we've added 2 questions that didn't used to be there. One, we're asking you to weigh in on what you think about the difficulty of the topic. How difficult, how easy. We encourage students to do difficult topics. Obviously, it's easier to do a smooth and polished job on an easy topic, but we just want to see how we've never asked this before. We see how people want to weigh in. Then at the very end, when we're talking about evaluating general persuasiveness and speaking and presentation skills, you will find this one. Teams were instructed not to read from a script. They were advised that doing so would be considered a serious error. Did the team follow these instructions? Yes or no? So we're really going to encourage students not to, definitely not to read from a script. Okay, so that's that part of the website. As I said, if you go, here, resources, now you've been over here on the Judge Resources tab here for all kinds of resources that we point students to about ethics, about presentation guidelines. This is where you can find another link to the Judge Resources and some, essential videos. These are kind of background videos on how to advice about presentations and how we approach ethics. Now there is, let me see if I can find this, something we've had for a couple of years that we have up only during IBECC. This year expanding that. If you go to resources, then you scroll down to advice for giving presentations, you will see, now this is something that we put up for students, but because giving presentations is so much a part of business, feel free to view these yourselves. This is a series of four videos that were done by Stacy Ferrati, who is a training and organizational consultant we work with. Stacy is someone who, frankly, I never know what country she is in. She does international training with major corporations, and her job is to teach people how to do presentations. She has done now a series of 4 short videos for us. The most recent one is when we said that what we wanted was to encourage students to not do try to figure out how not to do a traditional sort of boring Zoom presentation, but how to make it more engaging, more interesting, more realistic. So I would definitely encourage you to look at these, not only for the sake of what we've advised about students, how students should go, but for your own benefit. These are videos in order to respect the integrity of Stacy's work that we post only during the competition for a relatively short amount of time. Now they'll be up, we'll take them down after the competition is over. So do take advantage of this. If the settings are correct, by the way, they cannot be downloaded. So you need to look at this. Here, there are some worksheets that go with the videos. Those can be downloaded, but that's what, again, some of the things I'd encourage you to take a look at. We have videos of, for years of different presentations on the videos. For example, if you go to last year, you'll also see you can find executive summaries. You will get an executive summary. They'll be available shortly before the competition goes live. So that you'll have some help with that in that regard. But if you want to do any of this before, you definitely want to get some sense of what we're advising students, how we talk about ethics, as I said, the Zoom presentations that Stacy has done. And if you have any questions about, let's stop this. If you have any questions about how to prepare for IBECC, definitely please let me know. Thank you again very much for being willing to do this, and that should at least get you going, especially if you have not judged for us before.